Welcome to the heart dissection. What you see in front of you is a sheep's heart. A couple of things you'll notice before we get started is that the sheep's heart is encased by lots of fat. All of this stuff here is fat. That is protective. It serves as a shock absorber, protects the heart from any kind of getting banged around. In addition, it's encased in what's called the pericardium, or this sac. You can see this tissue here. It's very tough and stretchy, but that sac is filled with fluid and again acts as a protective layer for the heart. Another thing you might notice is that some of the other tissues of the body might still be attached to the heart, because in the body all those organs are actually together. Teachers can show you what's called a pluck, which will be a heart, some lungs, the esophagus, all connected. It's a pretty cool thing, so make sure you ask your teacher to see it. But here you can see clearly some lung tissue that's still attached here. Now in order to get started, we're going to need a couple of tools. Pan over here if you would. We're going to need our dissecting scissors. We're going to need our probe. And your teacher is going to have a scalpel. So the first thing we want to do is remove the pericardium so we can actually see the heart. So we're going to take our scissors, and all we're going to do is we're going to pick at the pericardium here, slide the scissors in, and make small cuts up towards the top of the heart. And as we do that, you'll be able to see that the heart is now exposed. You can simply peel that back and expose the heart like so. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and clean off the pericardium and all this fat tissue up top to expose all of the blood vessels that are running into and out of the heart. So very simply, you're going to take your scissors, find the pericardium and where the pericardium meets the heart, and begin snipping away at all of that tissue. Now if you happen to cut a blood vessel like I just did right here, this dark tissue is a blood vessel, not the end of the world. We'll be able to find it later, so don't sweat it too much. But we're going to take all of this pericardium off. I'm going to turn the heart around here and work this way. And it can come off in pieces. It doesn't have to come off as one big huge piece. You can see I'm just trying to find where it attaches to the heart, and I'm cutting it off as I go. Now I'm cutting through some of the fat that's at the top. All that's fat tissue, that yellow, it's not really important. We're going to discard that. Well, we're still not quite done. You can clearly see a blood vessel right here, but we need to expose all of the blood vessels at the top of the heart, and all of this tissue up here, here's some more lung, needs to come off, and we're going to cut around that blood vessel to do that. Again, if you happen to cut a blood vessel, it's not going to be the end of the world. See, I just did another one right there, not a big deal. And we're just going to cut this stuff off so that we can begin to see what we're dealing with at the top of the heart. Now you'll notice that there's a lot of fat tissue around the blood vessels. So what you want to do is carefully, and this is where you want to get a little careful, is you want to just take that tissue, get your scissors underneath it, and cut that away. And you'll expose some of the blood vessels that you're really looking for. So there's a little bit of fat here. You can cut that off. And every heart's going to be different. So your heart might have more fat. Your heart might have less fat. You might have a healthy sheep. You might have a couch potato sheep. Who knows? Maybe sat and ate French fries all day. All right, so that is a cleaned heart. And we now are ready to begin the external dissection.
Take the fat and pericardium out. Yeah.
The first thing you're going to want to do is figure out how to orient your heart properly. Now, as your teacher probably will have told you, when you look at a heart, you're actually looking at it backwards, because the heart is arranged as if it was inside your chest. So typically, when we look at a heart, let me just find the right place here. When we look at a heart, it's going to be in our chests like this. So my right side is the actual right side of the heart. My left side is the left side of the heart. Now, when we put this down on the table, you'll notice that as you're looking at it, the left side is actually on your right. So just be aware that when you look at a heart outside of the body, the left side is actually on the right, and the right side is actually on the left. And this is the way you want to begin to orient your heart. Now, the other thing you have to think about is determining how am I going to figure out which side is the right and which side is the left. And this is the key. You want to feel the sides of the heart. One will feel much more firm than the other. You can see here this is a very firm side of the heart, whereas this side here is very squishy. The squishy side is going to be the right side. And your teacher is going to talk to you about why that might be so. Perhaps you have a hypothesis about why that's the case. You can even figure that out on your own. So when you orient the heart to yourself, look for the squishy side. That's the right side. And as you're looking at it from your position, you want that on your left. So you're all set now. The heart's been cleaned. You've oriented it properly. You're ready to go ahead and get to the dissection. Good luck.
Do we want to dissect it?
All right. We're back. So, following the instructions that you've been given, you're going to want to start with the external dissection, and that means identifying all of the different chambers of the heart as well as all of the different blood vessels. So as we've already shown you, it's very easy to determine the left ventricle from the right ventricle. We already know that the ventricles are the larger chambers of the heart, and they're down at the bottom of the heart. So the left side, again, is the more firm side. The right side is going to be the softer, squishier side. Next thing we want to do is try and find the atria, or atriums. And despite what they look like in the model, they look very different in the real heart. I like to say they kind of look like ears, and they're actually found more towards the back of the heart. So what I'm going to do is sort of turn the heart around here, and you can see this flap of tissue right here. This is the right atrium. And over here, I almost say they kind of look like elephant ears. This is your left atrium. So you want to be able to identify all four chambers of the heart: the left ventricle, left atrium, and right atrium. From there, you want to begin to identify the blood vessels. And to do that, all the blood vessels either come out of the top of the heart or the back of the heart. So we want to orient the heart sort of looking at its back. Now, you'll notice that you have two very large blood vessels coming out of the top. This one here and this one here. Now, in order to figure out which blood vessel is which, you're going to need to do a little probing. As the instructions say, you're going to want to take your finger or a probe and go down the blood vessel to find out what chamber it actually is attached to. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to head on down this blood vessel. Maybe not.
I can do it because my finger's smaller.
All right, here comes Miss Shield to probe that blood vessel.
Down I go.
And because these...
I'm hitting a valve.
Because these blood vessels are coming out of the top of the heart, we know that they are actually arteries. And as you should know at this point, arteries take blood away from the heart and out of a ventricle. So in fact, Miss Shield was probing down this chamber, down this vessel, across the heart into the left ventricle. So what she has found is in fact the aorta. Now the second blood vessel that we're going to be looking for, major blood vessel up top, is the pulmonary artery. Again, taking blood away from the heart, out of the right side. And this one's a little more difficult to find. Typically what happens is that the aorta crosses the heart like this, and then in front of it is the pulmonary artery. So once you've found the aorta, look in front of it and across it to find the pulmonary artery. And it is right here. This is the pulmonary artery right here. Now some of these blood vessels go in very different directions. They twist and turn a little bit. And so you might need to do a little bit of finagling to get stuff in. But you can see right there that I am now in the right ventricle. The last two blood vessels you want to identify are the vena cava, which brings blood back to the heart into the right atrium, and the pulmonary vein, which brings blood back to the heart from the lungs. And they're going to go into your atria. So over here on the left side, that opening there is your pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. And on the right side, this one here, going into the right atrium, is your vena cava. So you've now identified the four chambers as well as the four blood vessels, and it's time to get inside the heart. Now your teacher's going to come around, because these incisions need to be made properly, with a scalpel.
I wonder if
Go ahead, you can do an ah, because I know you like it.
show 'em or wait.
And what we're going to do is we're going to make a diagonal incision down the ventricle so that we can open that up. Now you can see that I haven't made that incision quite deep enough yet. If I can hold that open for you. So I'm going to go back. I'm just going to continue that incision, and we're going to open that heart up. And that's what you're going to see. Now you can clearly see here what you're going to be looking for is the size of the ventricle wall, as well as looking for the valves. And your valve tissue are these little flaps right up here. The other thing you're going to be looking at are the cords that attach the valves to the side of the heart, called the chordae tendineae. The second incision we'll make is in the right ventricle. And the right ventricle is a little trickier because oftentimes it runs towards the back of the heart, but again, it'll be sort of a diagonal incision. You can hear that ripping. It's good stuff. We'll open that up. So you get to see in the right, it's a little slippery too, you get to see in the right ventricle there is the valve tissue, and you can see the second flap lying against the ventricle wall. And you'll want to compare the width of the right ventricle wall with the width of the left ventricle wall. And that'll be an important piece of information as we start thinking about the function of the heart. That's basically all we're going to do in terms of the dissecting piece. If you're interested in opening up the atria, your teacher can certainly do that for you, although it's going to be much harder to see because those incisions are tough to make given that they are such small structures. So good luck, enjoy, it's not gross.
It's interesting.
It's a good time.
It's science. We love science.
Yay!